there! I'm Caitlin Lowe and I'm the owner of the Luminaire School of Yoga. I am so excited that you're interested in one of our 200-hour yoga teacher training programs. Now you can scroll down on this page to read a little bit more about the program, but I wanted to give you a personal introduction, tell you a little bit about my favorite parts of the training, and hopefully answer some of your questions for you. So first off, what are the benefits of taking a 200-hour teacher training? And I want to say right away that you do not need to want to be a yoga teacher to have a really, really great experience and benefit tremendously from a program like this. In fact, almost half of the people who have taken a training with Luminaire didn't have any intention of teaching. They had just begun the practice of yoga asana, either recently or they were long-term practitioners, and they just wanted an opportunity to get together with some cool people and take a deep dive and learn more about this practice that they'd come to love. And that's fantastic. That's actually why I took my first teacher training. I didn't expect to be a teacher at all, let alone running trainings of my own. If you do want to be a yoga teacher, this is also a great program for you because not only will you leave having all the tools that you need to teach a really excellent class, in this program in particular, we place a special emphasis on accessibility and injury prevention. That's actually what got me into teaching in the first place, was creating an occupational injury prevention program at the company that I worked for. And what that does is set you apart a little bit from the programs out there that are very corporate and formulaic and are just kind of teaching you to follow a script or a formula. You will have the tools that you need to accommodate anyone who shows up in your class, and it gives you endless options for specializing the way that you teach or who it is that you feel called to teach. Aside from the teaching aspect, in this program, we learn about all aspects of yoga, not just the physical part of the practice. So you'll take away tools for your emotional self, for your relationships, for your relationship with yourself, things about analyzing your calling and your purpose, living more intentionally and with greater direction in your life. These are the tools that yoga gives us when we take the time to look at it as a holistic practice. And I love being able to share that with people because these tools are so powerful and they're so impactful in all of your life, even if you don't want to actually be a yoga teacher. And even in those periods of life where it might be necessary to put aside the physical aspect of your practice, like if you were recovering from surgery or from a long-term illness, the rest of yoga, the bulk of yoga, will always be there for you. The next question I get asked a lot is, what's the schedule format and what do the classes look like? So I have designed this schedule to accommodate people who are working full-time or part-time, who are in school full-time or part-time, or who might be caretakers. So maybe you stay at home with the kids, or you're caring for like elderly parents. This schedule is designed with you in mind. It's not an immersion. It doesn't take up so much time in your week that you're not going to be able to get your other commitments and responsibilities taken care of. So we meet in person here at the studio on alternating weekends. That's both Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 5. And those days, I promise we're not just doing hours and hours and hours of yoga asana. We have a potluck lunch every day, which is always super fun. We take lots of breaks for snacks and for tea. And while we're in person, we really take advantage of that and we focus on the more physical aspects of the practice. This is where you'll get a lot of your practice teaching opportunities. This is where we go over a lot of our anatomy and physiology. Try out new poses, kind of workshop things like how to make hands-on adjustments, how to modify poses to meet a student's particular needs. So our weekends together are really cozy, really fun. And then in addition to that, every Tuesday evening, we get together on Zoom from 6 to 9. And because we're not in person and it's always just a little bit harder to work with an online format, we don't do quite as much of the physical stuff where you really need to see nuance or be able to look at someone from all the way around. We save those classes for more of our group discussions, a lot of the philosophy, the ethics, and because it allows me to screen share some of the more nitty-gritty stuff about anatomy and physiology, things that you don't necessarily need to be doing with your body, but it's nice to have that visual. So we use some really cool anatomy software for that one. You get to look at the muscles and how they're layered together. It's a lot of fun. In addition to that Tuesday class, so that's every week. And then in addition, every week you will get 4 hours of pre-recorded material that you get to watch at your own pace and at your own convenience. This is brand new for the program this year, 2024. And I'm really, really excited about that because it allows me to give you just that much more than if we were trying to do all of that stuff in person. So I save the pre-recorded material for the stuff that's quite nitty-gritty, that can be a little bit dense, doesn't really lend itself well to group discussions, and it's the kind of stuff that, you know, if it's the end of a long day for you, or you've got a lot of other things on your mind and you're trying to sit in a group of people, or you're staring at your computer screen like late at night trying to focus, it's just not a super awesome experience. And I want all of teacher training to be as awesome as possible. So if you're not a night owl, you can watch those lectures in the morning when you're more alert and fresh. If you are like crazy busy on Monday, you don't need to watch the video on Monday. Wait until Wednesday when you've got a little more free time. And so there will be a lecture part of that pre-recorded material, and then you'll also get each week 2 pre-recorded hour-long asana practices, and those will all have a theme that will be structured around the material that we're covering in class that week. So you'll get to see different techniques and different aspects and how they relate to that background information that we're learning together in class. You can see it put in action in an actual class. So I'm really excited about that. It's gonna be easier on your schedule. It's gonna allow me to like really nerd out about the stuff that I'm passionate about and get you just that much better quality programming. So as far as what the classes look like, as far as who is in them, that's another fun question. It's probably my favorite thing to talk about because every class is totally unique and totally amazing. It's so cool for me to see how diverse these groups are. People come together from all different places in their lives, all different walks of life, different religions and spiritualities, different jobs and levels of education. And we come together with this common goal to learn about yoga and to experience yoga. And you get the benefit of a group class, of the wisdom of everybody else, not just me. And you get an opportunity to form these really beautiful, deep, lasting connections. One of the ways I ensure that happens is by keeping my classes very small. I never accept more than 8 people to a program. And that means that you really, truly get an opportunity to learn who everybody else in the room is. And you get an opportunity to share who you are and know that you will be seen and you will be heard. We talk a lot about holding space, about being the kind of group where you get to show up exactly as you are and you know that everybody else in the room wants the highest and greatest good for you. I love that so much. And I can also tell you that the friendships and the bonds that people make in teacher training, they last long after the program is over. We go to each other's weddings and baby showers. We get together on the weekends. We take each other's classes. It's amazing. It's so amazing to me to see that community aspect of the program that I didn't intend when I first started doing this, but to see it develop organically, that just speaks to the magic of a teacher training and the magic of the universe aligning and the right people always coming together at the right time. Okay, let's talk a little bit about tuition. This is definitely an investment, and if you've been kind of shopping around and looking around at other programs, you might notice that mine's a little bit on the lower end of in-person trainings, at least for this area. But there are some newer, completely online programs. The Yoga Alliance just changed their requirements for online only trainings, and those are pretty cheap. Some of them are like less than $500. So if you're wondering, like, why would I spend thousands of dollars on an in-person training when I could spend just a few $100 on one that's totally like at my own pace, I can do it without ever having to leave my house? And it's because of all the stuff I just talked about, the community, the group interactions, the wisdom of people coming together from different perspectives and different places in their lives. That's something that you absolutely cannot replicate if you're just churning out this formulaic, pre-recorded content for people to just like sit and watch by themselves. So I do recognize that it is an investment of both your time and your money, and I hope that you'll see the value when you learn more about this program, when you come here and see the studio space and meet me, and we can talk about some of the other people who've already been through the program and their experiences. So right now, my full tuition is $3,200. Up until the end of the year, I'm offering an automatic $300 off just for applying. Even if you don't decide to go with the program, you still get that automatic discount. I also offer payment plans that I don't charge interest for. I really don't want finances to be the reason that someone has to say no to an opportunity like this. So when you come and schedule your appointment to meet me and check out this space, we can always talk more about that kind of stuff, and I'm willing to make, almost pretty much whatever accommodation I can to make this easy and comfortable for you. So that being said, what are your next steps? I've mentioned an appointment coming here to check out the studio space. That's always something that I recommend. You get to see how comfy it is here. So one thing that I think also can set this program apart is that we're not just in a commercial studio space with fluorescent lighting and hard floors. We do have a studio space where we roll out our mats when we're practicing asana. It's spacious and full of natural light, and it's very nice. But when we're not on our mats and we're sitting and we're talking and maybe going over some anatomy stuff, we get to sit in the living room. So I've got this awesome, comfortable sectional here. There's an armchair, there's a rocking chair, there's a love seat. When we have our lunch breaks, there's a full kitchen, and we can sit together at the dining table. So it has this very cozy, we're coming home together feel to it that I absolutely love, and I want to bring you here and show that to you. So when you fill out an application, and it only takes 5 minutes, you'll then receive a link to schedule your appointment. It's free, and that's just another opportunity for us to get to know each other a little bit better. I can show you the books that we use in class. I can show you the training manual, give you a little tour of the space. You can meet Pumpkin, our resident yoga dog. And I want to hear about you. I want to hear about your yoga story and your interest in taking this training. So fill out an application. Those are the orange buttons here on this page, and then schedule your appointment with me, and we'll get together and we'll chat about yoga. I cannot wait to meet you. In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can always send me an email, info@luminaireschoolofyoga.com, and I hope our paths cross sometime soon.